Yes, sir. Here's the beating the Lakers on Christmas in the crypto. Okay, first time since 2008.
Here's the Steph Curry and the Warriors whooping y'all ass in the finals in 6 games.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Two Peas in a Pod with Tim and Ryan. I'm Tim. That's Ryan, and we are very grateful and happy to be back with y'all on this lovely Sunday afternoon. Ryan, how you feeling, my boy?
I'm all right. About yourself, brother?
I can't complain. Man, I told you saw the pictures. I dressed up as Spider-Man for my little brother, my nephew's birthday on Saturday. Dog, the hell with them kids. Bro, I'm talking about it was cool. Then they got to hit me with wiffle bats and throwing bean bags at me, and I'm just like, all right, it's time for me to go. I didn't got 2 wisdom teeth pulled. I'm out here trying to do something. Like, so you kids is bad, man. Kids is evil.
I'm extremely aggressive.
Yeah, and I ended up with a headache all day yesterday. I'm like, all right, bro. I came home, laid on the couch, had me a little bowl of ice cream, and that was that.
Sounds like a good evening.
Yes, sir. Did you what was the did you catch that fuck, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm still kind of out of it. But shit, man, we ain't gonna waste too much time. Let's go ahead and jump off into this thing, dog. So first up, well, actually, we are discussing the good old AFC North today. You know, that's of course, my team is playing in that division, but
right. See how he caught himself with one of my see that? See that caught himself. Nigga got like 8 teams. Somebody gonna make the Super Bowl.
You ain't never gonna let that one go, are you?
Nope.
But anyway, we have what I consider the most competitive division in football, which is the AFC North. That is, for those of y'all that don't know, that is the Ravens, the Browns, my Steelers, and the Bengals. First up, we're going to discuss the 2023 AFC North Division champions and the AFC runner-up and the AFC runner-up last year in the AFC Conference Championship game, the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, Baltimore Ravens went 13-4 last season. Some key departures for this team, which they have quite a few of them. Odell Beckham Jr., Morgan Moses, Tyus Bowser, offensive lineman Kevin Zeitler, safety Geno Stone, cornerback Rock Ya-Sin, offensive lineman John Simpson, linebacker Patrick Queen, linebacker Jadeveon Clowney, cornerback Ronald Darby, wide receiver Devin Duvernay, running back Gus Edwards, backup QB Tyler Huntley, running back J.K. Dobbins, and one of the biggest pieces I think that they're going to be missing this season, defensive coordinator Mike McDonald. They did now some key additions. They didn't have many, but the 2 biggest additions was they did add Derrick Henry. Everybody knows what Derrick Henry is, and linebackers coach and former second team all pro that played with the Ravens, defensive coordinator Zach Orr. He's going to be taking over that job this season. They did have a couple nice little draft picks. They get cornerback Nate Wiggins out of Clemson, offensive tackle Roger Rosengarten out of Washington, and wide receiver Tez Walker out of North Carolina. Ryan, I'm gonna let you take this one first. What's your outlook for this Ravens team this season compared to last season?
Shit, man, nigga, I didn't know they lost all that. That's damn, man. That was some key contributors.
Yeah.
Offense and defense. But this team is always coached up real good in Harbaugh, one of the Harbaugh brothers. So they'll be fine, in my opinion. I think they should have kept Gus Edwards, just to give Derek, a break, if you will, on knees, because the 17-game season is a grind.
Yeah.
But I mean, right now, it's young. I feel like the Ravens can capitalize on what they did last season and potentially have a number 1 seed again, despite losing all these pieces.
Okay, I like that. I see the Ravens take a little bit of a backseat because they lost so much. They do lose a couple key pieces on the offensive line. Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins leaving. I mean, J.K. Dobbins can never really stay healthy, but The Gus Edwards leaving does, they lose a little bit of depth at the running back position. I think the biggest takeaway here, them losing defensive coordinator Mike McDonald, I think that's going to hurt a lot more than people think. They did have one of the best defenses in the NFL last year, and them losing Patrick Queen and Geno Stone. Those are some key contributors on defense. That Patrick Queen alone, bro, that's a huge hole to fill at linebacker. And I mean, I expect the offense to be just a tad bit better. I mean, them adding Derrick Henry in the backfield, I think that takes a little bit of the weight and the pressure off of Lamar. I mean, me as a Steelers fan, bro, I'm not looking to defend that option. I'm not looking to defend that option with them two motherfuckers. With Lamar coming out of the backfield as QB and big ass Derrick Henry coming out of the backfield as running back on the nine. I'm not looking forward to defend that. I'm not looking to defend that.
Yeah, them RPOs is going to be nasty, my good sir.
I will say the biggest question is the wide receiver core, because I mean, obviously Zay Flowers, he's a budding star, and I don't see him slumping anytime soon. I'm hoping Andrews and Andrews can come back healthy. If not, likely showed that he can come in and take over that number one role. But I definitely feel like they have to put a little more emphasis on passing the ball. You know what I'm saying? Because with them not really being a passing team, and then they went into the AFC Conference Championship game trying to pass the fucking ball. That was ultimately their downfall.
They got away from what they were.
Yeah, like I mean, I to this day I still don't get that. Like, why would you get away from what works?
Panicking.
True. I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
He threw that bomb to Zay and they scored, and I'm just like, oh man, it's about to be a fucking shootout. Then that was pretty much it until the third or fourth quarter. I mean, shout out to Butker, man.
Harrison Buck, yeah.
Yeah, he earned his paycheck that game.
Well, if he keep running his fucking mouth, he about to get it taken away.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what's your ceiling for the Ravens? Do you think they get a number one seed? Do you think they can maybe make it back to the AFC Conference Championship game?
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to see it. Right. It's still so young in the season, but I mean, still got last season on the brain with what they were so good at, but then they did lose a lot of pieces, so they at least could, get a playoff berth. I don't know what they do afterwards, but I just feel like, with the addition of Henry and Lamar and how they are able to manipulate the running game every year to be one of the top rushing offenses every season, they definitely have a chance to make some more noise.
Right.
And possibly get a championship.
I hope not, because my team is in this fucking division. We're gonna get to them in a minute.
Yeah, I got some issues, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get issues. Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a minute. Next up, we have the Cleveland Browns. Obviously made the playoffs last year, but lost in a wild card. They went 11-6. Some key departures for the Cleveland Browns: linebacker Sione Takitaki, tight end Harrison Bryant, linebacker Anthony Walker Jr., linebacker Jordan Elliott. Defensive tackle Jordan Elliott, QB Joe Flacco, and Alex Van Pelt leaves as the offensive coordinator. Some key additions for them: linebacker Jordan Hicks, Jerry Jeudy at wide receiver, Devin Bush at linebacker, Quentin Jefferson defensive tackle, Jameis Winston comes in, obviously takes over that backup QB role, Deontay Foreman at running back, Jermaine Ifedi on the offensive line, Ken Dorsey takes over as offensive coordinator, and he was also, if y'all not familiar with Ken Dorsey, he was the Bills offensive coordinator and their QB coach, and he was the Panthers QB coach whenever what the hell's whenever Cam Newton had the MVP run and they went to the Super Bowl. So they got a lot to look forward to. But go ahead, Ron, take off.
This is make it or break it for Deshaun, right? Because I mean, they was able to do a good chunk of this without him.
Right.
Last year, partly because of their defense and really Nick Chubb. So you got Amari, you got Jerry Jeudy, you got pieces. Chubb is hopefully gonna be back. Did they re-sign my man they let go and then brought back real quick?
Who that?
Hunt.
Kareem Hunt, no, I don't think they re-signed him either.
I guess that shit he did in Kansas City just gonna haunt his ass forever, I guess.
Probably.
But yeah, that to me, this season is gonna be on what Deshaun can do rather than not do.
Right.
If they're gonna go as far as he goes.
Right.
How you feel about it?
I would agree. Now, I will say I do like them adding offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey to, help with that offense because, like you said, they got some pieces on offense. They just, they got to make it happen. And, Ken Dorsey, he has a proven track record. He helped with the development of Josh Allen. He, turned Cam Newton into a Pro Bowl quarterback and an MVP. And what do they all do? They all run. You know what I'm saying? They're all running quarterbacks. They're all great with throwing on a run. So, there's that. I definitely feel like we can't see Deshaun Watson get back to MVP candidate Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson that led the league in passing a couple years ago. But, it's like you said, it's make it or break a year for them. There's no he has to come into this season clear head, full steam ahead, ready to fucking go. Like we can't have all the bullshit that we had the last couple seasons. They paid you all this fucking money. They put, they have the pieces around you to succeed now, bro. You got to go out there and make it happen. I can't make no excuses for you no more. I mean, fuck you because you in Cleveland, but I can't sit up here and make no excuses for you no more. Like, bro, you got to come out here and make it happen.
And then another thing about this division, nobody had a losing record.
No, that was quite surprising. What shocked me about this Cleveland team last year, how far they went without Deshaun. Because obviously when it was announced that Deshaun was out for the rest of the season, I thought that was it. I thought I'm thinking, all right, shut it down. Nobody's paying attention to the Browns. Get ready for next year.
No, we're gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah, but fuck the Browns and simply because Deshaun, I feel the same way about you that I feel about Lamar. Fuck both of you motherfuckers, but because y'all play in my division, I kind of, and you black quarterbacks, I respect you.
There's a running narrative here with this division, right? Like, except for maybe the Bengals, all these teams are pretty much well coached.
Yeah.
Good talent, just overall good teams.
Right.
So, hell, man, that number one spot is literally going to be hot potato.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's another season where the AFC North is up in there. Like, there's no favorites coming into the beginning of the season. I mean, obviously the Ravens right now, I think the Ravens are like the easy pick because of what they did last year and what they have been the last few years. So of course they're going to be the favorite to win the division. But hey, man, we'll see.
This is a motherfucker I think is coming for a vengeance.
Yeah. Next up, we have my Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, we went 10-7 last year, lost in the wild card. Some key departures. Thank God. Matt Canada's not going to be back this season. I'm very happy. Obviously, we lose Kenny Pickett in the trade to the Eagles. Mason Rudolph leaves. We lose Deontay Johnson, cornerback Patrick Peterson, safety Keanu Neal, center Mason Cole, punter Presley Harvin, and offensive tackle Chukwuma Okorafor. Some key additions for us, 2 additions that I'm absolutely excited about. QB Russell Wilson, QB Justin Fields, linebacker Patrick Queen, safety Deshaun Elliott, punter Cameron Johnston, cornerback Dante Jackson, offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. And let me just say this. You know what? I'm going to finish reading these off before I say anything else. Our key draft choices, linebacker Peyton Wilson, 2-time award winner in his division, offensive tackle Troy Fautanu out of Washington, center Zach Frazier out of West Virginia, and wide receiver Roman Wilson. Now, I'm going to take this one first. I want to say this about Arthur Smith. I know a lot of people, he put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth with what he did, with that Falcons team in Atlanta. Me and Ryan always say this, and Ryan can agree. Offensive coordinators don't always make good head coaches. Defensive coordinators don't always make good head coaches. They simply just don't. But let's not forget, Arthur Smith revived Ryan Tannehill's career. He turned Derrick Henry into the monster that he is. Derrick Henry had 2 back-to-back seasons where he had 1,500 plus yards and 10 plus touchdowns. Let's not forget, he took the Titans all the way to the AFC Conference Championship. Hell, Tannehill was on his way out the league. And he came in and pretty much he came in and was able to have a pretty much a second career in Tennessee. So there's that. I am gonna be a little more optimistic because I came into the season last year a little too fucking excited. And thanks a lot, Matt Canada. It was a very fucking disappointing season. But with all the pieces on this Steelers team, I do expect us to be better than we were especially offensively. I expect the offense to be a lot better than they were last year. We declined Najee's 5th-year option, which I think that Najee, because of that, and with the addition of with the addition of some pieces that we got on the offensive line and Arthur Smith, I feel like Najee's gonna have a breakout year. I'm guessing I'm going to come right out and say 1,200 plus yards, 12 touchdowns. We have 2 QBs here with, a lot to prove in Russell Wilson and Justin Fields because of, how they pushed Russ out of Denver and how they pushed Justin out of Chicago. Right. And then, us getting linebacker Patrick Queen, that was a huge hole in the defense that we had to fill the last couple of years. Bro, I got a lot to be excited about in Pittsburgh. I definitely see us making the playoffs, but bro, all bullshit aside, we got to win a playoff game. Ain't no way around it. We have to win a fucking playoff game. We have not won a playoff game since I think 2015. That got to check. I can't go through another year of that. Mariah, take off, bro. What you think the Steelers do?
All right. One thing that pops out to me that's quite alarming is your schedule.
Okay? Yeah.
Your schedule is not necessarily the nicest. You got
the second half. The second half.
The second half is brutal. But I mean, right after the Broncos, you got the Chargers, you got the Colts, and you got the Cowboys. Then get a little break, and then right here from week 11 on, it is fucked up. You got the Ravens, you got Cleveland, you got the Bengals, you got Cleveland again, you got the Eagles, you got the Ravens again, then Kansas City.
Yeah.
And then the Bengals will close out the season. Jesus.
I want to say this. Whoever the fuck made that schedule and gave us like 3 games within like a 17-day period, fuck you.
That's brutal. Yep, 17th, 21st, and the 1st. Well, you get a nice break after on that third week 12. Get a nice break after week 12 games played. But looking at the schedule, you just gotta feel like Justin Fields will get an opportunity to play at some point. Russ is getting older. I don't know how this offensive coordinator and him is going to mesh. I don't know how him and these receivers are going to mesh. Although I do know you guys always keep them fucking receivers. So I honestly have you all having a losing season and just missing the playoffs. Just missing it. Or it might be similar to what Cincinnati did
last season.
This season, yeah, going 9-8. I just think right now, and I have the right to change my opinion because it's spring fucking May. But right now, I don't see how this team meshes. I mean, offensively, it's still got all the same weapons pretty much. So we'll just see.
I ain't mad at it. Now the question, okay, who do you think starts this season? You think Russ starts or you think Justin starts? No, you know what? Scratch that. If you were head coach, would you go with Justin or would you go with Russ?
I'll put it to you like this: it is Russ's job to lose.
Okay, and why you say that?
It's gonna be based off his performance. Does your play give us the outcome that we're looking for?
Okay.
Are you affecting the game? We need a franchise quarterback to affect the game. That's what it's going to boil down to for me. Now, all the other things, injuries, how the defense is playing, certain play calls, or, certain calls that could determine the outcome of a game, that's all, out of Russ's control. But the things he can control, like, reading the defense, knowing when to get out the pocket and move in the pocket, making the right reads and all that stuff, if he's doing that, then this will be his job to lose.
No, I'm saying what I'm saying is if you had to make let's put you a head coach for just for this season.
I'm going with Russ, but I'm not. You're not getting that leeway.
Yeah. Yep.
Soon as if you play like shit for 2 or 3 weeks, I'm gonna try the young stallion right here, man. See what he can do.
I agree. I would just to start off the season because Russ has more experience, and I definitely say let Russ start off. Like give Justin a little bit of a fresh start. I mean, he got thrown into a fucked up situation in Chicago. It was no secret. He got thrown into a very fucked up situation in Chicago. There is no there's no other way around it. There's no easy way to put it. What they did to Justin in Chicago and he was able to make the best out of it. It was it was a wonder that he made it out of that fucking team healthy. So, I do think by midway point, I do think Justin starts, but long season, man. I still feel like Russ feels like he has a lot to prove. So I don't think his career is completely over yet, but only time will tell, man. Only time will tell.
Yeah.
Now moving on to the last team in this division, we have the Bengals who went 9-8 last year, and they ended up missing the playoffs. I mean, part of that was because of Joe Burrow getting hurt midway through the season. Some key departures for them: they lose DJ Reader at defensive line. They lose wide receiver Tyler Boyd. They lose cornerback Chidobe Awuzie. They lose running back Joe Mixon, offensive tackle Jonah Williams, safety Nick Scott, and offensive coordinator Brian Callahan. Some key additions for them: they get Von Bell at safety. They get Sheldon Rankins at defensive tackle, Trent Brown at offensive tackle, Mike Gesicki at tight end, Geno Stone at safety, Zach Moss at running back, and Ken Pitcher at offensive coordinator. I'm going to take this one first. I know a lot of people, the Bengals and Joe Burrow, they have turned into the league's sweethearts. But if I'm being honest, them losing Joe Mixon at running back, that is a huge loss for them. He does so much for that team. He's been very reliable and consistent since he's come into the league. And also them losing Brian Callahan, bro, he's pretty much been the engine of that offense. Brian Callahan has been there since 2019. I definitely feel like that, he's been the key reason why Burrow has been so successful in this league. Not saying that Joe Burrow wouldn't have been successful at all, but, Joe Burrow did have 2 back-to-back seasons where he put up 4,000 yards. This offense is very comfortable with was very comfortable with Callahan. So that is definitely going to be a key question. And then obviously T. Higgins requested a trade. He's requested a trade twice. So there's some tension there. I'm not hating on this. Like, I'm not trying to hate on this Bengals team, but I honestly feel like this could be another year where we see the Bengals miss the playoffs.
It's very possible.
But I will give them this. They did shore up the offensive line. They got Orlando Brown last year, and they go get with the Trent Brown this year to try to help protect Burrow. Because I mean, at this point, bro, if y'all keep letting that man get hit and fucked up the way that y'all have been, Joe Burrow's gonna have a very short career in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Like this is twice within the last 5 seasons where this man has had a season-ending injury. You cannot keep having this shit happen.
Yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. Looking at their schedule, it's not the worst, but definitely you got some games. Really starting from week 5 on, you got the Ravens, the Giants, and then you got the Browns and the Eagles, then the Ravens again, and the Chargers, and the Steelers, and the Cowboys, and Tennessee, and then the Browns, and then the Broncos, and they close the season with the Steelers. This might just be a situation where they just simply lost too much, and that probably just need another season to get it back going. But T. Higgins wanted to go is simply because they don't have the money to pay him right now. That's the real reason why they don't have any money to pay him. Because you had to pay Burrow, you had to pay
Chase,
you know what I'm saying, and you had to pay the defensive line end. That what's his name, Hutchinson or something?
Trey
Hendrickson. So it's just it's just a situation of it not having enough to go around, and ain't nobody taking no pay cuts because when your name is hot, you have to strike while it's hot. Because you earned that right playing. You played it that right.
I agree. Now with them losing Joe Mixon, there is no easy way to say that. They fucked in that. They fucked in that situation because now teams know that they're gonna be passing the ball a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are you gonna put your faith in who Zach Moss? And I'm not saying Zach Moss had a bad season last year, but he doesn't do what Joe Mixon does. He did. There's no easy way to say that. He doesn't do remote. He doesn't do anywhere remotely of the things that Joe Mixon can do. And I don't know. Like I said, I know the Bengals have turned into the league sweethearts, and everybody wants to see them win. Everybody wants to see Joe Burrow get that ring, but I don't see it. The way I see it, hell, they hustling backwards. I think if we being completely honest, hell, the Bengals is hustling backwards. And I'm not trying. Like I said, I'm not trying to seem like a hater here. I obviously the Bengals in my division. I don't like the Bengals. I don't fuck with the Bengals, but I'm just calling how I see it. I just think the Bengals lost too much to, try to recuperate. And what we've seen the last couple of years, the Bengals jump off to a really fucking bad start.
Yeah,
if they jump out, if they jump up to a bad start this year, I don't see a scenario in which they can get back. I really don't, because the entire AFC has got and once we get off in talking about some of these other divisions, the entire AFC has gotten much more fucking competitive.
Mm-hmm.
So that jumping out to a 4 or 5 game losing streak, that shit ain't gonna help you this year.
Yeah, NFC is more star players, AFC is more good teams. And talking about good teams, let's be for real. Last couple years on paper, nothing really surprised you with the Bengals, and except for the addition of some good players, but they have really been overachievers, and this just might be the period where it catches up with them,
right?
Based off of personnel decisions and your cap space, how much money you got to play with to bring players to your team to improve your situation. So this just might be a situation where it might need a coaching change, or they got it figured out and we just asshole wrong. But them letting Joe Mixon bounce, that really told me something. It's like, oh, okay, they kind of trying to rebuild on the fly, because they lost a lot.
Yeah,
like the Ravens, they lost a lot too. So I mean, yeah. Right now, I don't got Cincinnati doing too much either. But looking at their schedule, it's very around a 9 to 11 wins range for me. Just looking at their schedule now, there's some winnable games there, and there's also, depending on who gets hot or at the right time, some ass whoopings there too.
Yeah. Now we're gonna go back through. I want you to give me, like, if you had to create a team message for each one of these teams, I want you to give me just like a short, simple message and explain that message.
Okay.
First off, for the Ravens, if you had to give them a short, simple, if they had to come up with a message for this team or like a theme, what would it be?
Do your job. Yeah, you know what's expected of you. You know what you've done, and good teams build off continuity from the previous season. You can't have a season like you did last year and then it just totally implodes. So do your job for the Ravens.
I would say stick to what works. Because I mean, you did a great job running the ball all last year, and then you get to the playoffs and you completely abandoned what you were good at, which made no sense. And I still stand by that story. Y'all can talk about Zay fumbling the ball and all that, but you can't have the number one rushing offense and then and then get to the AFC Championship game where it matters most and choose to run the ball 13 times and 6 of those go to your running backs. That simply just makes no sense. Moving on to the Cleveland Browns, what would your message be for the Browns, and why would you give them that message?
Put up or shut up. This is mainly towards Deshaun. You see, the team is good. It's really good. And you're supposed to, like the Cleveland Browns, they should, just off a personnel standpoint, they should be competing in the AFC Championship game every year. For real. Yeah. So put up or shut up, man. You have all the talent in the world. You've done things when nobody had you doing them. So put up or shut up for the Cleveland Browns.
I would say my message for the Browns is right now. Right, no, right now. That should be that right now. Like, bro, y'all have a team that is put together to compete right now. Like, I agree with you. There is no reason that you guys shouldn't at least make the AFC Conference Championship. And like you, and I can't get them put up a shit up because obviously you did, but yeah, Deshaun, bro, you no more excuses. I'm not defending you no longer, bro. If you don't make the playoffs, or if you don't get back to what you were in Cleveland, I mean in Houston, and you have the talent to do so, if you can't get back to remotely what you have in Houston, bro, I'm done with you. I'm done. Like I've tried my best to defend you, and say that I defend what all that nonsense that transpired in Houston. You gotta come through this year, bro. This is like this going on year 3. But you can't, we can't have no more shit. We cannot have what the fuck we've been seeing the last like 2.5 years. Moving on to the Steelers. What would your message be for them, and why would you give them that message?
Just be you. I mean, y'all really had to fucking fight for them wins last year. So, I feel like, especially for your young boys that's still on the team that was there last year, that's a great turning point for them to have something to build off of going into this season. Yeah, just you know what to do. Just do it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. With the Steelers, so this is I battle with this, and this is a tricky one. I think for the Steelers, my message to them would be nobody cares. Nobody cares. We understand, y'all. We understand that the QB situation is a little messed up right now. Nobody cares. Nobody, like, bro, y'all have 2 talented QBs. Figure that shit out. We know y'all got to and I mean, we saw what the NFL did with that schedule. Nobody cares. It's part of the season. It's part, yeah. Ben ain't there no more. Y'all gotta leave that. We gotta leave that shit behind. Ben is not there no more, bro. This is the new regime. Build on what the fuck we got right now. Cut the bullshit. This is obviously we starting over. This is this is another turning point for us, bro. Nobody cares. Figure that shit out. Plain and simple.
But I'm saying though, my nigga, like if franchise quarterbacks were growing on trees,
right?
You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be that difficult, would it?
Well, it wouldn't, but shit. I can honestly say I'm spoiled as a Steelers fan. Like I'm extremely spoiled because I'm used to us, winning 12, 13 games a year, putting up, 300-400 yards of offense a game. I'm not used to what the fuck I've been seeing these last couple seasons. I hate this shit. Okay, Ryan, I want to say I want to ask you this. We talked about this in the previous episode. With the whole Kenny Pickett situation, do you feel like the Steelers did right by him, or do you feel like that he just fucked that situation up completely?
It's kind of similar to the Fields shit though, right? Like
right.
You really didn't have an offensive coordinator like that. They just threw you out there, and they, you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't do right by him because hell, he got you to the playoffs 2 years in a row.
Right.
So yeah, they did him a disservice just like Chicago did Fields, but like just the moves they made before they even drafted Caleb made you be like, well, damn, bro, like they didn't give a fuck about Justin. They just got him because he was the best available pick at that time.
Right.
But they never. It just shows me now we're not at practice, so we don't know what's going on a day-to-day basis at these places. But it just goes to show me that they lost faith in Kenny well before the end of the season. They lost faith in him quickly. So, hey.
So I get to say this again because I didn't get to put this out before. But Kenny, if you somehow see this, bro, I want to let you know I rooted for you. I was your biggest supporter. I was so happy when we got you out of Pitt. I honestly thought that you were going to be the one to change this team. I'm not gonna say change the team, but help us get over the hump with Ben retiring. And bro, I defended you all the way up until everything with the QB shaked out. The Steelers, plain and simple, the worst thing they could have done for Kenny was bring back Matt Canada because he did nothing to help improve, to help Kenny improve, to help with his progress. if you can go look at it, Matt Canada was the third least successful overall offensive coordinator in the NFL. This is a proven fact. There was a time, there was one particular play against the Raiders last year. This man called a QB draw out of the shotgun on
third and 10.
Like it was like 4th and 4. What the fuck are you doing? Bro, you in the red. You are in opponent's territory. You're calling a QB draw out of the shotgun on a 4th. That's not gonna win you games. It's not. And then he was calling comeback route, short crowd. Like, bro, you can't win games like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the element of surprise. You catch with some shit they didn't expect, and when it works, oh, you're so amazing. When it doesn't, you're an idiot.
Man, everybody knew what the fuck we was gonna do. Then, like, what I didn't, I understand, like, it was it's a QB's choice, but bringing in a guy like Mitchell Trubisky to try to teach Kenny, who was more concerned with still being a starter in this league as opposed to helping teaching, coach up the young rookie, bro. It was terrible. It was just Kenny was doomed from the start. I feel bad for him, but hey, it's a business, and that's the way, that's just the way shit play out sometimes.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to the Bengals, what would be your message for the Bengals?
Shit, the message for the Bengals is protect your quarterback. Protect your quarterback, bro. Like, damn, he didn't have 2 major injuries in what this year 5 for him?
Year 5, yeah, 5 years.
Like, dog, like help me,
nigga,
help me. Like, for real, like even the year they went to the Super Bowl, like I think he was the most sacked quarterback that season. I think he's been the most sacked quarterback since he came into the NFL. And I mean, shit, that's outside of the politics and the bullshit. That's part of the reason why Andrew Luck retired. Like, bro, I am tired of getting hit like this.
Yeah.
So protect your quarterback is what I have to say to the Cincinnati Bengals.
I think my message to the Cincinnati Bengals would be protect your assets, not just the quarterback. I mean, T. Higgins want to get paid. Chase got paid. Burrow, bro, these are all your assets. Y'all already traded one of your biggest assets away in Joe Mixon. So, running back position.
That's because they felt like it's the shit with McCaffrey and Zeke and Gurley. That's the only reason why. If them niggas have all worked out, Mixon would be he fucking around, be the top 5 highest paid running back in the NFL. He probably is the contract he just got with Houston. But
I would agree, but it's like, damn, bro, do y'all want to go through another 4 or 5 years? What the fuck y'all went through with Andy Dalton to where y'all gonna have to find another quarterback and rebuild again? You know what I'm saying? Like, T. Higgins deserves to get paid right along with Chase. I mean, you got a huge gap at the fucking running back position, so you ain't got to worry about that no more. I mean, I'm glad. I'm definitely glad y'all, shored up the offensive line to try to protect Burrow. But, bro, y'all, with the way it's looking with the Bengals, bro, y'all headed for another road to nowhere. That's definitely what it feels like.
Fast and in a hurry. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if 3 teams make the playoffs again for your division. I mean, it's that.
Yep, I would agree. It's the health pertaining.
Yep.
I'm with this with my team with the Steelers, bro. I love my Steelers, but I'm gonna be a little more. I'm gonna be optimistic this season. I'm not saying they finna make the Super Bowl. The playoffs it's a stretch because of what they did with that schedule. But as long as we just got to make it through the second half. We jump out. If we can get 5 games, that first part of this, if we can get 5 games within the first 8 weeks or whatever, I think we'd be okay. I think we'd be in good shape.
I gotta have a decent record going in week 11, bro.
We have to. There's no doubt about it. We have to.
Because nigga, that's about that for real. Depending on how the season work out, that's 3 losses and it's somewhere in that off bat.
Yep, I'm already gearing up for it, man. I'm already gearing up.
I looked at that shit like, damn, bro, they really hate Pittsburgh. Bro.
They fucking hate. I said this, bro, they hate us. I want to know who the fuck from Baltimore or Cleveland decided who the fuck from Baltimore or Cleveland was on the committee to put that goddamn schedule together. Cause y'all don't they don't need to have a hand in doing that. They do that to us every year. We have one of the fucking hardest schedules every goddamn year. But I do credit a lot to that to us being in the AFC North. Yeah. I mean, you can say what you want. The AFC North is always one of the toughest fucking divisions. Always.
Shit, you got 8 tough ass games to 6. Start off.
Well, yeah, it's always. I mean, you have 6 games guaranteed in the AFC North that is going to be hard. 6 of them, all the time. I mean, we got 2 again. We're gonna have 2 against the Bengals, 2 against the Ravens, and 2 against the Browns. And with the Browns, emerging as a good team, it's always gonna be a nasty game. And then on top of that, keep in mind the second half of the season in the AFC North is always fucking cold. It's gonna be cold, so it's shaping up to be a pretty rough season.
Wind chilled off that water.
I can't say, but I will say this: I am glad that the two quarterbacks that they did bring in are used to playing in the cold, so we do have that on our side.
Yeah, I really think this might work out for Russ. I just can't see it right now.
Right, I feel that. I can't be mad at that. Russ is coming in. The thing with Russ that I like, he already got his money. I mean, Denver still has to pay him, and he's playing for us on a veterans minimum. So I feel like Russ, health pertaining, I feel like Russ is gonna come out slinging, bro. I feel like he's gonna come out throwing the shit out of the ball, and I feel like Najee, he's trying to get his money. He's gonna come out running mad. We got, like I said, we got a lot to look forward to this season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ski.
All right, so Ron, let's talk a little bit of basketball, man. So if who you got winning tonight between Denver and Minnesota?
Man, they probably playing now. All right,
they are. They playing now. They playing now.
I mean, I'm gonna go with Minnesota because we got swept by these niggas 2 years in a row. So I'm definitely going Minnesota. But I mean, I feel like Denver is gonna get it done. I honestly am gonna go on a whim, and say that Denver is going to two-peat. It's gonna be hard, but I think they can. But shit, man, that Dallas team is physical, but they can match that physicality of Dallas. Boston has had the easiest road to the finals probably since 2013 Miami. No, they even had battles in Indiana and all that shit. I'm trying to think who had the easier path to the finals outside this Boston team. With one of them Laker teams. Shaq and Kobe.
The easiest path to I don't know, because you can't really say any. Well, I mean, you can maybe say the Warriors when they had KD, but it's because they pretty much damn near swept every fucking body leading up to the finals. Yeah, so I think so. I definitely think I do feel my Steelers are going to the final. My Celtics are going to the finals. I think the one thing we can hope for is that Denver is a little tired once they get to the fucking finals.
Yeah.
I'm not hoping for nobody to get hurt, but what I'm hoping for is that with Denver having to go, 7 games with the Timberwolves, and I think that Maverick series is gonna go 6 or 7 games. I'm hoping for them that when they get, when they do get to the finals, I'm just hoping that they tired. I really do. I hope that they tired.
Yeah, because I mean, shit, they've already played 12 games. They're not even in the fucking third round yet.
Right.
Which is crazy to think about. And then, how many games have y'all played? What, 8, 9?
8. No. 10.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, and because you got Cleveland in 5. Okay. Then you got Miami.
Oh, hold on. Did we get Cleveland in 5 or did we get them in 6?
No, you got them in 5. Because Donovan pissed the bitch in Boston. I think that was game 2.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he pissed the bitch in Boston, then he got hurt, and then that was that. And then Jimmy got hurt, and then that was that. And then, you're playing against a young ass Pacers team who I didn't watch. I didn't watch the last 2 games because I just thought the Knicks was gonna get there, win, and that would have been for fan viewership wise, that would have been better for the NBA. But I mean, you know, Indiana's a young team, so they can do some exciting shit, I guess.
Well, let's hope not against us. But yeah, man, that's gonna be it for this week's episode, man. As always, we thank y'all for tuning in with us. Do always, please go subscribe, like, comment. We always take constructive criticism. We are also on TikTok too, so please make sure y'all go, follow us on TikTok. Run up them views and them shares, please. But as always, until next week, Ryan, it's always love on this side, brother.
Same here, brother.
Oh, and before I get out of here, Dustin, come on, you got to come through for us next weekend, dog. Please come through for us next weekend. Yeah, well, no, not next weekend, in 2 weekends. But anyway, Dustin, June 1st, Dustin Poirier, Islam Makhachev is going down.